Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with the weekly comic book roundup. Let's see. We've got a decently sized haul today, and I'm also eating dinner while I do this, so bear with me. Mac and cheese with ham. All right. Let's start this week off with what is definitely my favorite book of the week, Return of Wolverine #1. Over the last 4 months, we've been following 4 different groups looking for Wolverine. Well, who is thought to be dead? Well, he's very much not dead. All right, so let's get a little forward of sorts. Wolverine, a great hero, selfless, strong, brave, an X-Man, an Avenger, a steadfast friend, an implacable enemy. He was dead. Now, he's not. But the issue is actually titled Chapter 1, Hell. And we start off with Wolverine kneeling in a puddle of blood with his claws popped, and definitely in pain. Also, his claws are now heated for some reason. Next, we see that he's in a lab. There's a saber-toothed tiger and a lot of dead guards around. He sheathes he retracts his claws. Notices he's got a cut on his side that's not healing. And then a scientist asks for water. When he sees Wolverine, says, "You're dead. They killed you." And Wolverine hands him the water and says, "Doesn't seem like it." And they talk some. The scientist explains who he is. He's Brian Delacroix, and this is his lab. So Tara brought all of it here, and he works in de-extinction. Hey, Josh. However, when he understood what was going on, he said no, and because of that, she sent in a hit squad. Delacroix further tells Wolverine who he is, as Wolverine has already mentioned that things are a bit foggy for him right now. But damn it. Before he can save the world, Delacroix wants him to, kill him. However, an explosive gets chucked in. A grenade gets chucked into the room, and it goes off and does the job for Wolverine, so he doesn't have to do it himself. And but it also frees the saber-toothed tiger that was in the lab. And he gets his first hint of a memory fighting the saber-toothed tiger, and it says, "Get off me, Kitty," and then has a brief flash of Kitty Pryde. Apparently, there was also a woolly mammoth in there, and it's also loose now and kills the tiger. So he kind of gives himself a pep talk of sorts. He gets loose and notices he's Basically goes to rescue the civilians. Apparently, one of the guards is presumably a clone of Omega Red, given that Satara has quite a bit of, quite talented at cloning. But you get a little bit with Wolverine in his head, going on a tour of his brain with Persephone, who the person in charge of Satara. It turns out that Wolverine's memory is a prison. And there are friends, enemies, versions of himself in the cells. Persephone gives him a key. And there's a wall, however, that she tells him he doesn't want to look behind. Woman at the camp wakes up Wolverine, and in the real world, explains to him that he's Wolverine. He also has his first flash memory of Sabretooth. And he explains to her that he can fight, and he can fight, and stealing kids is wrong. And when he gets hurt, he heals up fast, too fast. And, it motions out to the wound on his sides, except for this. So he doesn't know why. The woman who woke him tells him that he can kill any. He can find the tiniest scent on the wind, and he can hunt. And he can kill. He can kill anything. Anyways, she patches up the wound that won't heal. And we have a little bit of a flashback. Apparently, it's telling us sort of why Wolverine wears yellow and blue. Of course, Wolverine fought and killed him. He puts on I'm guessing a Satara security outfit. And then in his mind, he opens a cell with Wolverine in it. It kind of says to himself. First, we get the version that was locked up saying, "Decided to let me out first, huh?" Then he says to himself, "Yes, so. Word is I'm a superhero?" Then the one version of the memory, whatever he's letting out, says, "Hell yeah, we are." And again, the woman who's been talking to Wolverine just now explains to him that Persephone runs Satara, and that she's the architect of all of this. So she's the devil. So Wolverine says, "Let's go meet the devil." And that's where the issue ends. And we got a good long while before the next one. All right. That was kind of the big deal comic of the week. Don't get me wrong, there's some pretty decent stuff, but that was up next. We got Multiple Man number 4. So where we left off, in the future, Emperor Multiple Man killed Multiple Man from the present. And the Emperor looks at the body of the dead, the one he just killed, and he didn't feel anything. I mean, it should have hurt. But he felt nothing. One of his duplicate lackeys kind of inquired what's going on, and the Emperor kind of doesn't know. Now we get some of the, and they, of course, talk about the weirdness of time travel. And the Emperor goes back to earlier in the series, picks a fight with earlier Madrox and Beast's lab. Beast pulls them apart, they talk, and then one absorbs the other. Yeah. Next, we're going to get a handful of vignettes, Elsewhere and Elsewhen. First one has Multiple Man. This is one of the dupes ringing a doorbell, and Nightcrawler opens it. It's just the door at the Sanctum Sanctorum, which seems to be a lot taller than normal. And in this reality, it's the Sorcerer Supreme is not Dr. Strange, but rather Dr. Stark. Next up, we've got another Elsewhere, Elsewhen, and well, Duke gets a bit thirsty, drinks some of the water, and finally sees a person and asks what's up. He's looking for the Avengers, and the guy says that Avengers are all dead. Some words of advice. It gives them some advice. Don't ask about the Avengers. Don't travel the wastelands alone, and don't drink the water unless you want gamma poisoning. Next, Elsewhere, Elsewhen. The future. Dupat explains that he's looking for the X-Men. Sadly, people who found him inform him that it's too bad because he found the Freak Show, and it's Marvel 2099. So we get to see Metalhead. That was Metalhead, right? Ay. Yes, Metalhead. And a few others who I don't remember or really recognize. Another Elsewhere and Elsewhen once again, and somehow Jamie ended up in the reality of one of the old Marvel swimsuit specials, which way back in the 90s, Marvel would once a year do a swimsuit special with pinups of heroes, heroines, and villains and villainesses in swimsuits. But anyways, this one's this version of Multiple Man is looking for Iron Man. and heads to a bar here. That's probably where he'll find him. Well, we get yet another Elsewhere and Elsewhen. Jamie's this dupe is holding a gun on the to the head of a child with a rather familiar-looking scar and a metal arm. It's like he's looking for the X-Men because he needs their help. A couple explains that the X-Men died a long, long time ago. Just has to be Slim and Red, or rather, Cyclops and Jean Grey. While they were on their honeymoon and raising Cable. So then we go back to the one with Dr. Stark. Turns out that that dude's been reading up on magic, and asks for the body where Cloak's remains. And he takes Cloak of Cloak and Dagger, Cloak, and fires Nightcrawler and leaves. And he goes to the one what is apparently the Old Man Logan future. Encounters the Hulk gang and inquires, which one's Jamie? He's like, okay, come on, let's go. Then goes to Cable's childhood and finds the Cable / Warlock version, and takes him to the past. Then 2099, turns out the Freak Show found the remnants of Weapon Plus and turned Jamie, and we got the Deadpool / Wolverine version. Then they went to the X-Mansion, and well, all hell broke loose as it did earlier in the series. And yeah, So anyways, all the Madroxes leave the X-Mansion, and then a time portal opens up, and whoever's coming through shoots Kitty. Turns out to be the dupe that took over for Emperor Madrox in the future. And he says, after having shot Kitty, "I forgot how much I hate everyone who isn't me." And that's it for next month's issue, which will be the finale of this. I believe it will be the finale of this miniseries. All right, moving on to X-Men Gold number 36, which is the final issue, sadly. I really like X-Men Gold. Been liking it for a while, but anyway, so we open up with on the Blackbird, wrap to Long Island, New York. Storm, Prestige, Kitty Pryde, and Nightcrawler aboard. Cut back to 19 minutes earlier. Kitty is sending Colossus a voicemail. She's still kind of messed up about having called off their wedding at the very last minute. In the same moment in the Danger Room, we've got Prestige, Armor, Iceman, and Pyro going through a simulation. And when Nightcrawler comes in and explained he needs to speak with Prestige, as Cerebro has detected the manifestation of an Omega-level new mutant, off-scale cosmic ray discharge, uncontrollable. Kitty wants both of them in the hangar in 2 minutes. They talk to him about the fact that they broke it, that Prestige dumped Nightcrawler. Kurt's dealing with as best he can. Then we've got Storm talking about the loss of her hammer, Stormcaster, while her and Kitty get ready to go on a mission. And Kitty explains that loss is as much a part of being an X-Men as the danger room and the uniforms and the whole saving the world thing. To which Storm says, "Do you think we're cursed?" And she says, "No, I think the loss is to remind us what it is we're fighting for." Well said. Anyway, so they arrive at Port Washington, New York, and they do what they can to Storm and Nightcrawler evac civilians, teleporting and flying injured to the hospital. She tries to get into the kid's mind, but the energy he's throwing off, she can't push past. So anyway, Kitty manages to talk him down, and once she's finally gotten him to calm down and depower himself, power down, I should say. Local shoots him in the head. Kitty tried, he wasn't hurting anybody, and says, "Look around you. Things look kind of bleak, actually." Anyway, so Nightcrawler teleports Kitty and Boy to the nearest medical center. Doctor and nurse kind of go over him, and finally explains what he has a probable intracranial hemorrhage that needs to be evacuated, but the doctor won't do it. And explaining that what powers he has, they can manifest even while the kid's under anesthesia. If that were to happen, it'd be like a bomb going off. You destroy the hospital and kill everyone inside. Then, while they're arguing, even after Kitty actually tells Prestige to make the doctor do it, another doctor pops out and says, she'll do it. She argued with the doctor who said no initially, and it turns out that this doctor is actually from the first issue when President Kitty made a speech about earning back people's trust. And Doctor explains over the past few months she's watched the X-Men do that. And she says that they're not something to be feared and hated, not mutants, not even heroes, just people. And that's how the issue ends, with a shot of the team from the book's team. But yeah. And so we bid goodbye to X-Men Gold. It's been fun, buddy. I'm gonna miss you twice a month. And next up, we've got Amazing Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows, number 23. Also a final issue, sadly. So, no Spider-Man books anymore. Sorry, guys. So, Parker family. Apparently, full rundown. It all started on a creepy underground circus. Circus mad scientist stole the blood of Annie Parker, Spider-Man's daughter. Apparently, said evil guy was also posing as a non-mad scientist of the Oscorp variety. He made the Parkers think that there were new Parker clones running around, which for Peter is still a very sore point. But it turns out it's actually Mr. Sinister, also known as Mr. Not Even a Member of My Very Exclusive Rogues Gallery. Oh, Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. And they figure out that he's going to the X-Mansion. Annie uses her link of sorts to the clones. And yeah, they're going to the X-Mansion. So the Parkers go. Peter insists that Norman Osborn Jr. stick around, but Osborn, no, he's not going to do that. Anyways, back at the X-Mansion, it's softball day, and Peter calls Logan to let him know, hey, Mr. Sinister's on his way with spider creatures. Anyway, so Norman Jr. goes and uses one of the secret labs. And whoever shoots himself up with hurts. Right, so back to the X-Mansion. Sinister's giving a speech to his creatures when he gets hit in the face with a baseball on account of the fact that Logan threw a baseball at his face. Apparently, Peter's trying to destroy their car because he hates it, but it's finally paid off at least. Sinister goes back to monologuing. And he explains that what he's trying to do is give the mutant race a reason to evolve. Widespread mutant rights, new generations of superpowered heroes. Life is growing too easy for mutant kind. Conflict is fading. So mutant genetics are going to start stagnate. So the X-Men and the Parkers fight the various creatures that Sinister has brought with them. Annie once again utilizes her link to them to stop the fight, and then a giant robot stomps on Sinister. Giant robot piloted by Norman Osborn Jr. Then it also shoots him and seems to light him on fire. And giant robot stomps on the car, this time actually destroying it. Turns out that whatever it was that Norman shot himself up with, it gave him 4 extra arms. So, in exchange for a new car, because he did kind of destroy the old one, Peter does basically, it's implied that Peter's going to help fix the 6-arm problem. Oh, this doesn't end up with Norman turning into a man spider. Anyways, at the end of the issue, the Parkers are hanging out at home, and Annie decides that her days of being called Spiderling are over, and she wants something. She wants a new name, like Skull Spider. To which Peter says, "No way, you're not Punisher Jr. You're a Parker." And Mary Jane suggests Weaver, but Annie wants to be scary, like Skull Scary. But yeah, that is where the issue comes to it, and the series comes to an end. So, damn, everything's coming to a goddamn end. Of course, a lot of these are coming to an end are, being quickly replaced. So yeah. Next on the list is Infinity Warps, Soldier Supreme. Back during World War II, Stephen, with a PH, not a V, Rogers, volunteered to become a lab rat for a scientist who promised to make him grade A U.S. Army material. This is assumably his last chance to serve his country in her hour of need. Well, Dr. Erskine is actually doing magic to make her serum. And it works. But there's a Nazi spy present who fires at Rogers and then kills Dr. Erskine. And Rogers kills him back. So you see some tests of the shield he's able the shield he's able to make up to a tank. And so the Howling Commandos of Hogarth are born. Dum Fury and Rogers' friend from back home, Bucky Wong. Eventually, looks like Bucky would end up getting a metal arm, but would die in an explosion. And soon enough, they get the news that Hitler's dead. But Dormammu Red still remains. Hitler's priests of hell. So, Soldier Supreme and Dormammu Red go head to head. Dormammu implies that Soldier Supreme's powers come from a much darker source than he would have thought. As they fight, suddenly Dormammu Red's breath is becoming visible, and a spectral knife pops out through his chest. Because the specter of Bucky Wong has impaled him from behind. Then Dormammu Red sucks them both into the dark dimension. While in there, Soldier Supreme lights a small flame so they can at least see each other. And then Bucky disappears, leaving the Soldier Supreme by himself. That's where the issue ends. Next up, we've got the Captain America Annual. July 1944, Cap and Bucky, somewhere outside of Stutthof, Germany. They come upon a trio of escapees from one of the camps. And they tell this trio that they're going to get them out. They get to know the escapees. They also learn there's a sniper nearby. Night before the now quintet are to leave. One of the escapees, Volia, a Russian, stepping outside and gets shot in the leg. They're able to patch him up, but Cap's not sure they can escape with Volia having been shot in the leg, and he explains why he was imprisoned. It's not because he was a Russian or Jewish or anything. It's because he was gay. He wants to go to America, have a new name, a new life, live in Hollywood. Anyway, so looking at the map they've got, they find that there's a radio tower nearby. So they make their way towards the tower, but they run into a Nazi patrol. And so Cap and Bucky fight off the Nazis, while the escapees make good their escape. They get to the tower, make the call they need to make, deal with the mob. A mocking Nazi tank commander. But they managed to escape by a submarine, which Dum Dum Dugan happens to be aboard. The three escapees do make good their escape. However, Captain Bucky still got plenty of fight in them, so they'll be sticking around. Not a bad annual, good one-off story. Next up, Avengers number 8. He starts with Robbie Reyes making his way to Avengers Mountain, new global headquarters of the Avengers. He's greeted by Captain America. Welcome to the Avengers. Expresses the fact that expresses his hope that Robbie's ready to work harder than he's ever worked in his life. This leads to the two sparring. Then Thor walks by, trying to find bathroom. We flash back to days earlier, where Loki basically takes credit for saying, "Hey, if it weren't for me doing this, you guys would have gotten back together. So I'm just as important a part of the team as any of you." But the Celestials decided that Loki has crimes to pay for. But they're going to take the progenitor, the first Celestial to ever visit the Earth, and turn him into a base for the Avengers. Back to now, Tony Stark and T'Challa are riding up an elevator, talking about the place, while Doctor Strange is. It turns out that Wakandan architects have been working on the progenitor, along with technicians from Alpha Flight, to make Avengers Mountain livable. But Doctor Strange is giving She-Hulk, I don't necessarily want to say a physical, but analyzing her body. It turns out that the gamma counts in She-Hulk's body have skyrocketed. She can now kind of start to do energy blasts. Ford bumbles in and supposedly he's trying to find, basically find someplace he can go pee. And, however, before that, while arguing with Doctor Strange, She-Hulk puts her hand on the table briefly, and she leaves with Thor. Apparently, she has quarters that have a bathroom. Strange notices that she left a smoldering handprint on the console she grabbed. Doctor Strange claims he's going to, if you need me, call. They also, but T'Challa mentions to him that this is, we got this global teleporter. It can be linked to specific points around the planet. You mind if I make the Sanctum one of the points that can be linked to? He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Then Tony Stark and Carol Danvers talk a bit about having Carol on the team. Neither one expects an apology for the events of Civil War II from the other, but yeah. So, anyways, but they figured they both kind of need someone to tell the other one to say, hey, you're full of shit right now. And then once they agree upon it, Tony just says, let's address the elephant in the room. The sexual tension that's clearly been smoldering between the two of us. And as she throws him through a frickin' wall. Meanwhile, on the South Pole, a Roxxon tanker, or a Roxxon whaling ship is attacked by Atlanteans, who are promptly killed. Back at Avengers Mountain, Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor ask Black Panther to be chairman. So, he's going to become chairman. They get an alert to the South Pole and head out. Meanwhile, back on the ship, or on the whaling vessel, they're hanging the Roxxon whalers are hanging the bodies of the Atlanteans over the side of the ship as a warning. However, their warning has caught the eye of someone that will definitely make them regret doing anything, harming the Atlanteans in any way. Namor, King of Atlantis. Yet another new look. So, Namor's going to be our next month's villain of sorts, or antagonist. But anyway, moving on to West Coast Avengers #2. Where we left off here was the newly formed team was trying to figure out how to take down a giant Tigra who was standing in the ocean. And then they were approached by Brodok. New to me too. So the two Hawkeyes try to stop Tigra again, but it's not working. They're afraid, of course, that they're afraid to actually put forth the potential force needed to knock her out, as it could be fatal. They don't want to harm Tigra, but Brodok swoops in. At least he has to go back to the ocean. So to try and figure out what's up with Brodok, they invite him over to their under construction headquarters. And he tells his story while proving to be dumb. And he says that, yeah, he saw the giant tiger being a menace and decided it was time for him to become a hero. Gwenpool's mooning over him. Everyone else is just like, the hell, this guy's an idiot. Anyways, so the two Hawkeyes go and check out the business he created, Advanced Image Mechanics, and leave everyone else to watch movies with Brodok. They opt to watch Weekend at Bernie's too. Meanwhile, at Advanced Image Mechanics, Hawkeye and Hawkeye manage to break in. They, as Kate puts it, they find a giant science gun pointed at a table with restraints on it. They start going through files and eventually set off the alarm. Back at the headquarters after the movie, Quentin Quire and Gwenpool argue with one another a bit. Apparently, after watching Weekend at Bernie's 2, Gwenpool would like to watch Weekend at Bernie's, the first Weekend at Bernie's. But, you know, kind of that whole, that's not how you do sequels. How you do sequels. They argue, and then they kiss. And then, yeah. As America Chavez puts it, I've seen Quentin Quire making out with someone. That's my reality now. I can never go back. Anyway, so the team comes back, and apparently the files of sorts they had on they made on Brodok have been stolen. The files that they stole from Advanced Image Mechanics have been stolen. And so Brodok figures, well, if you're going to spy on me, you're not my friends, obviously. So he summons forth all of the giant tiger and giant other women, too. And so that's where the issue ends. More giant women are going to be attacking Southern California. Yay! Oh, wait. All right. And to wrap things up for this week, we've got Terminator Sector War #2. Where we left off, the NYPD officer Lucy Castro had just discovered she was pregnant while she's being chased by a Terminator. Same Terminator appropriates a garbage truck and goes after her. Lucy makes her way into a punk club. Anyway, so at the punk show, she leaves a message at home that, you know, okay, here's what's going on. But anyway, so the Terminator managed to track her down to the punk club. And rams the garbage truck into the front door. Turns out there's an undercover cop there. There's another cop there, and so he joins in the fight against the Terminator and gets killed for his efforts. Yeah, Lucy runs up running away, jumps in her car, and is still being chased by the garbage truck. She ends up in part of town run by Papa Oso. She explains why she's there, and then the Terminator shows up. The Papa Oso's enforcers, as well as Lucy, keep firing on Terminator. Realize it's not a man; it's a machine. And so, as Papa Oso is, amongst other things, in charge of 90% of all arms sales up and down the East Coast, we're gonna have to go inside Papa Oso's place to get more guns. And that's the issue. All right, that's gonna be it for this week, for this week's live stream. I'm going to try to get a retro review of Halloween 2 up tomorrow. I don't think we'll be doing a regular movie review this week, so we'll see what happens. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you'll be notified when I put new content. Links to my social media and Patreon in the description box down below. This is Rock from Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.